Ida for switching from non-dairy to dairy milk and inadvertently making my flatmate herself in an interview. I'm not lactose intolerant. I buy hazelnut milk because I like to have hazelnut syrup in my coffee, and adding hazelnut milk makes it even more nutty. My flatmate is severely lactose intolerant though, and has been drinking my milk ever since she moved in a few months ago. I don't have an issue sharing milk with her, but the issue is that she drinks so much of it all day every day that I'll get a single cup of coffee out of an entire carton. Sometimes she'll drink the entire carton before I've even had a single drink, and then she never replaces it or refunds me or even acknowledges that it wasn't hers to drink. At some point she stopped buying her own milk and I was having to buy new milk daily. I asked her many times why she was drinking my milk, and said that if she does, can she just buy a new carton? And she would say sorry and that she just grabbed the first milk she saw and that she'd get me a new one but just never would. She started getting annoyed when I brought it up and would say I was being overdramatic when I mentioned how much it was costing me. Last week I got sick of it and decided to go back to drinking dairy milk, thinking that as she's severely lactose intolerant she would stop and buy her own milk. I thought wrong. The dairy milk is clearly labeled. It has a bright red label on it that says cow's milk, but she still helped herself. Unfortunately, the day she decided to drink dairy milk was the day she had a new job interview. And the effects of the dairy-laced coffee she took with her kicked in as she was in the middle of it and she didn't make it in time. She came home absolutely furious and laid into me about how I ruined her life. How this job was the opportunity she needed and I destroyed it for her by being a selfish and that I did it deliberately because I was too uptight to share my milk. Here are the reasons why my flatmate thinks I am in the wrong. I knew she was lactose intolerant and so knew if she drank my milk she would get violently ill. So by switching to dairy milk when I knew she was drinking my milk and might potentially drink it again, I was putting her at risk. She also said that sharing milk isn't a big deal and that I'm selfish. She thinks I was overreacting and being cruel just for the sake of it and that I should have spoken to her about it instead of secretly changing milks. She has threatened to report me to the police, but I don't think she has a leg to stand on. Regardless, she is making our flat very uncomfortable to live in. She's taken my leftovers from the fridge and opened up my milk and left it to ruin. Leaves all her mess everywhere for me to clean up and has misplaced documents of mine. TLDR, I switched from non-dairy milk to dairy milk as my lactose intolerant flatmate was drinking all of mine. She drank some and ended up having diarrhea in a job interview. Ida?